So, you want to understand British people, do you? Well, in that case, you'd better learn the most common British slang words that we use every day. Let's get cracking. Alright mate, how's it going today? I'm not too bad, thanks for asking. If you're new around here, my name is Dan and I'm here to help you stop being an English student and start being an English speaker. Today, I'm going to teach you the most commonly used slang words, what they mean, and how you can use them too. Before we jump into the first one, I want to let you know that you can get a free downloadable cheat sheet right now for this video. It's got all the expressions, it's got all the examples, it's got everything you need to remember this stuff for longer, and you can get it right now by using the link in the description. Right then, British slang, let's get started. So this one is dodgy. And when we say that something or someone is dodgy, we mean that they're a bit suspicious. They're a bit questionable. They're a bit sus. They're a bit sketchy. They are dodgy. And when we use this one to talk about people, I'd say something like, that person is dodgy, or that person looks dodgy, right? That person looks suspicious. They're acting suspiciously. That person looks dodgy. For example, I could say, look at that bloke at the bar. He looks a bit dodgy, doesn't he? Basically, I think he looks a bit suspicious, and I don't really want much to do with him. Another way that we use this word all the time is to talk about food that doesn't taste quite right. Maybe something's wrong or it's out of date. Something's not good about it. We can say that food is dodgy, or that restaurant is dodgy. For example, I could say, that pizza we ordered last night were a bit dodgy. I don't feel too good today. The next one is knackered. Knackered. And this is a British English slang word that means tired, right? If a British person tells you that they're knackered, they just mean they're tired. Maybe they've been working hard all week. Maybe they've just run a marathon. Whatever it is, if they're knackered, they're tired. For example, you could say something like, I've been up studying English all night, so I'm absolutely knackered. We do sometimes use knackered to talk about an item of some kind. When it's broken or it's old and it's not working anymore, we can say it's knackered. For example, you might hear somebody say, I need to buy a new phone. This one is absolutely knackered. Now this one I use all the time, but that's probably because I'm a little bit lazy. But British people often use the expression, I can't be arsed. I can't be arsed. And what they mean is that they don't want to do something because it's annoying or it takes a lot of effort. And basically, I just want to sit on the sofa and watch TV, but I have to do this thing I don't want to do. I can't be arsed. It's like a less formal version of I can't be bothered. Maybe you've heard I can't be bothered. Same meaning, I can't be arsed. For example, you could say something like, I can't be arsed to go out tonight. It's been a long week at work. I'm absolutely knackered and I'm just going to go home and watch TV. Next up, we've got proper, and this is a bit weird in British English because most people expect that it means like authentic or real. And it kind of does, but the way we use it in the UK is to mean very or extremely. It's very hot today. It's proper hot today. It's extremely expensive. It's proper expensive. We use it all the time. It's one of those words that I use and I don't even really think about it. It just kind of slips in the sentence and we use it to make an idea that we're trying to express stronger. For example, that pub is proper expensive. It's £5.80 for a pint. Can you believe it? Another one that I hear all the time, I wish I didn't, but I do, is a cock up. And it's nothing to do with, a cock. A cock up is a mistake or an error. We can use this one a bit like a phrasal verb, right? You can say to cock something up. For example, I completely cocked up that presentation at work last week. I made a complete mess of that presentation at work. We can also use this one as a noun, and it basically just replaces words like mistake or error or failure in a sentence, and it goes with the verb make. So we end up with a sentence like, He made a cock-up of the hotel reservations. Next up is the word cheers, and in the UK, this one has 3 different uses. The first one is where you're in the pub with your mates, you've all got your first pint in your hand and you're like, yeah, cheers mate, clink, 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 clink. That's one way that we use it. That's probably the most commonly known way that people use this one. However, cheers in the UK also just means thank you, thanks. If somebody does something nice and you want to say thank you, you can just say, oh, cheers mate, cheers for helping me move house last week. Cheers, thank you. And finally, we can use cheers as a way of saying goodbye. Like, all right mate, cheers, see you next week. I don't know why cheers also means goodbye, but we do use it a lot when we're saying goodbye to someone. I'll often use it at the end of an email. Please get back to me by next week. Cheers, Dan. So it's kind of like thank you and see ya in the same time, I guess. But those are the 3 different ways that we use cheers in the UK. Now, if you're enjoying this video, it took me ages to make, so please do me a favour and smash that thumbs up button. Let me know that you're enjoying it. It really helps my channel and it'll help other people just like you find this video, so I'd proper appreciate it. Cheers! Up next, we've got the word gutted, or as I pronounce it, gutted. And this means to be very disappointed about something. You know, maybe you get some kind of bad news and you're not very happy about it. You could tell people, mate, I am gutted. For example, I'm gutted we couldn't get tickets for the new Blink-182 tour. To be fair, I don't think anybody got tickets for the Blink-182 tour. Probably a lot of gutted people about now. Now, the opposite of gutted would be the word buzzing. If somebody is buzzing, they're really happy or excited about something. Maybe they could say like, mate, I am buzzing about this party next weekend. I can't wait. Buzzing can also mean drunk in the UK. Like you're starting to get drunk. You know, you've had the first beer, you're halfway through your second one, you're starting to get buzzing. You're starting to get a little bit tipsy, a little bit drunk. But in the UK, we've got loads of words that mean drunk. At some point, I'll make a video all about different ways to say drunk in British English, but for now, please be aware that buzzing means you're starting to get drunk. Up next, I've got a bunch of different slang words and they're all related to money, so I've kind of put them together in this part of the video. But the first one I've got for you is skint. Skint. If somebody tells you they are skint, what they mean is they don't have any money. Now, most people know the expression, I am broke. I am broke. I've got no money. I'm broke. And in the UK, this is like the British English version. I'm skint. I've got no money until I get paid next week. I am skint. For example, you might say something like, I've just had to repair my car. Now I'm proper skint until I get paid next week. Now in England, the money is called pounds, right? £1, £2, £3, and so on. However, British people don't really say that very often. We're much more likely to use the word quid. Quid just means pound. But be careful, when we're counting pounds, £1, £2, £3, £4, and so on, but it's not 1 quid, 2 quids, 3 quids. 1 quid, 2 quid, 3 quid. So be careful with that. Now the paper money, we've got a £5 note. This is called a fiver. And we've got a £10 note. This is called a tenner. But a £20 note is not called a 20er. So don't say that, it's just a £20 note. When we're talking about the coins, the £1 coins, some people call it a nugget. And when we're talking about small change, people call it shrapnel. For example, mate, I've only got a fiver. Have you got any shrapnel for vending machine? Up next is the word innit. Innit, mate, innit. And this is basically a contraction of the word isn't, it. Ooh, innit. And we use this one all the time. We basically use it like a tag question, isn't it? For example, maybe you would hear somebody say, it's hot today, isn't it? However, in England, you're much more likely to hear somebody say, it's proper warm, innit? That's just how we speak. And a good response to this would just be, innit. So it's a really useful word. Try it out with your British mates. Now, British people are well known for being sarcastic. We don't take stuff too seriously and we like to make fun of everything. That's why I want to show you the expression taking the piss. This one means to mock or be sarcastic towards something just for fun. Now, we'll often make fun of our friends, we'll tease us mates, we'll say pretty nasty things, but we're only joking, we're only messing around, we're taking the piss. For example, I might say, my friends took the piss out of me so much last week when I lost my wallet. We can also use it as an exclamation when somebody says something that we don't think is exactly true, or we think someone is lying. For example, I could say something like, £9.80 for a pint? Are you taking the piss? Now last up is the word bollocks. This is a really British word, and in most cases we're just using it as like an expression when something goes wrong. Oh, bollocks! You know, for example, oh dear! Like that, but with more swearing because British people quite enjoy swearing. Bollocks. For example, you could get home after work, you open the fridge, and you realise there's no milk, and then you remember, oh, I was supposed to buy milk on the way home. Bollocks! I was supposed to buy milk and I forgot. Now I have to go back out to the shop, and to be honest, I can't be arsed, I'm proper knackered. Bollocks! Like that. Now, bollocks is one of the most common British English slang words, and that's because it can be used in loads of different ways. If you want to know more about it, I suggest you check out that video over there where I show you all the different ways that British people use the word bollocks.